Paul is the best on this day. Sandstorm's the best on the Summer Championships day. It's always growing. NA is so talented. EU is less talented, but they have Godly, who is so talented. But you get the point. We're going into this game one right here. Sandstorm versus Luna. The Mirage is still out here. I didn't think it saw any nerfs in this patch, right? But people have been kind of realizing how strong this character is after what he did in Summer Championships. And Paris, Roman Reigns, the double shovel hero, Luna, he's bringing it in.
I love the Mirage pick. I've been loving this Mirage pick for a while, specifically really with Sandstorm, because of course has the scythe that he built his career on, but it also just has the reliability and the consistency of the spear that at the end of the day, like, you can do so much work with spear. It's an incredible weapon. Even though it might not be like the flashiest weapon, it may not be like a top 3 weapon, at the end of the day, maybe, I don't know, maybe it might be a top 3 weapon. It's so good. So I'm glad to see him have that consistency. And also an amazing signature kit. He's been using that side signature quite a bit. He's been using it very early in his games as well. We saw that in his previous set against Meg D on Demon Island. I believe that was in game 1. Of course, that down signature as well. So I just, all the way through, I love this Mirage pick.
Now, I love Sandstorm, and we all love Sandstorm. That's Sandstorm.
So
that's
true.
The GOAT.
So
but
true.
I really like how he picks up a character and he kind of figures out the intricacies of the signature. And let's be clear here. Mirage has no weak signature, as we see that down stick come out right there, even in neutral and plain white. But he just kind of puts them in a way where it's like, okay, Spear, it has that medium range harassment where it's like it keeps the opponent out, but you're not going to be using it to go forward as it doesn't have that momentum, right? And he substitute that weakness with the signatures. You're seeing him throughout the side 6 to break neutral, to catch out landings and cover the edge, and it's just so good. No one really mixes in signatures to their kit like he does. I mean, people do, right? We have Impala mixing in signatures, but Sandstorm has just done it on so many legends: the Zul, the Onyx, the Mordex, the Mirage. He finds the character he wants to play and he goes, okay, the weapons are one thing, but what do the signatures look like? What do they do? And that's why we're seeing him take almost a full stock advantage over Luna here, as Luna finally closes it off with a normal, peaceful stomp Sarah.
Now, earlier we saw in the Luna versus Impala set that was a 3-1 with the first game going to Impala, but then a 3-in-a-row victory coming out from Luna. This game is going to be a little bit different story here right out of the gate. He seems to be struggling quite a bit with going up against Sandstorm. They talked about it briefly earlier about the suite of legends that Luna has under his belt. So he does have the option to change, or he just has the option to adapt with this legend specifically. The Hammer, we haven't seen that big explosive power just yet against Sandstorm. You see that neutral light coming out. He's coming over here for the edge guard. It confirms regardless, even though he didn't actually make a final hit that forcibly sent Sandstorm into the blast zone, but he didn't have enough to get back, so he still got the stock nonetheless. He's made the lead quite a bit smaller here now. It's about 50, maybe 40 damage that Sandstorm is behind, so he's going to have to come back from that. May not be too tough, but it'll be a whole heck of a lot easier if he kept Luna off of the weapon, the hammer in hand. I'm still waiting for Luna to find these ways in. He just hasn't really found that yet, and this is only game 1.
Now, I want to take a look back here at the last time these two faced off in, I don't think it was a Summer Championship, it was the NSIG Brawls event that happened, I want to say last month, and it was this exact same matchup. It was before Luna was actually practicing the terrorists, so you have to give him benefit of the doubt there, but it was the terrorists versus Mirage and Sandstorm taking it up 3-2 in a very explosive back and forth set, and it's kind of reminiscent of this game here, where we're seeing them go very explosive back and forth. You saw Sandstorm with a big lead. Luna wiped it away. Now you're seeing them trade back and forth here in this matchup. And this is one of the better matchups into Terrace, I feel like, because Mirage has that high force and it's able to contest hit for hit with the Terrace, but it also has that low startup frame weaponry. As we see that the Luna getting the lead in this game, momentum, and Light is gonna knock out, and he's gonna take game 1 for himself and win his finals.
And he found the adaptation that he needed pretty quickly. I was expecting, the way it started, I was expecting game 1 to be a little bit of a wash, and that to be sort of an information gathering site for Luna to figure out how he wants to deal with Sandstorm, but he was able to bring it back a lot more quickly, and that's kind of different from what we've seen from him lately. If we take out Summer Championship that Sandstorm won, it seems like Sandstorm is on the come up. And for a little bit in 1v1s, it seemed like Luna was a player in, and I mean relatively in quote-unquote decline for a player of his stature, right? We're used to seeing him
Right.
win tournaments. We expect the first place coming out from Luna, but here recently he's really started to ramp it up a little bit. But even in the summer championship, came in 5th place, didn't top 3. So we're seeing him come back now. We're seeing him come back against a very strong Sandstorm, who did win summer championship, coming in 1st place, of course. So this is looking good for Luna so far, but of course it is just game 1.
Yep, it is definitely just game 1. We have the whole best of 5 here to play out, and Sandstorm also a very adaptive player. I want to point out how Luna mid-set right there, you could really see the difference in the first stocks compared to the last, as he started throwing in more weapon throws and unarmed into the kit, because he just couldn't find what he wanted to do with the weaponry. Now, another thing that we want to talk about here when it comes to Luna is that you're talking about his decline, and he has been noticing it himself. He's been saying, all right, I have been playing a lot, and I need to take a break right now because, you know, summer championship is over. I'm not going to the Royale. Maybe it's time I unwind, take a little break, and then come back stronger. He calls it regenerating, and sometimes that's just what you need. You know, when you're burning yourself out, it can really show in your placements.
Now I'm hoping the Taros is the way to kind of get that refreshment, to get that variety in, because he's been playing the Lucian for a minute. That's what he was really relying on in the 1v1 space, and now he can kind of go back and rekindle that old love that he had with Taros. As he's getting edge guarded here, he's going to actually immediately recover high, did the exhausted recovery back to the main platform, but was caught in midair with the down air from Sandstorm, who sent him back over to the edge, didn't touch, so he didn't reset the jumps, and he was done. And there, exactly again like you said in game 1, the D-Sig coming out from Sandstorm, even though Luna was exactly in the white. That was the first that he took on that second stock. So that shows you how good those signatures are. You don't just use them as a KO tool. You don't just use them as a Hail Mary. Like, you feel safe throwing them out in just raw neutral at the beginning of the stock. Oh, D-Light ground pound coming out from Luna there to finish up that stock, and Luna has a huge lead here. His D-Light ground pounds have been fantastic. I think it was in his previous set against Impala. Impala was starting the edge guard, and Luna was over on the edge, did a wake-up D-Light into the ground pound, and ended up taking him out, and it was huge. So we're seeing him use that on stage, off stage, when he's in seemingly disadvantaged state. His wake-ups with him are strong as well, getting back onto the main platform, but again, that scythe down air, sending over to the edge, the strong scythe D-Light with the greater force on it, using that active input to send directly over into the blast zone rather than swinging him back towards the middle of the stage, where that's not what you want to do if you're looking to get a stock.
And you were talking about old loves earlier. I don't think there is an older love than Sandstorm, Scythe, and the Edge, right? Because we've seen now 2 different scenarios where Sandstorm picks up his Scythe, just goes on the right, off stage, and it's just complete domination. Luna just can't seem to find his footing on these offstage interactions with Sandstorm, and it's easy to say, like, okay, then just don't have them, but when Sandstorm is constantly moving you and pushing you off stage, it's just so much value. And there's the down stick again, trying to close his game out, looking for those high force signatures that Mirage has, but Luna is able to make it back to the map. The sideline there is going to bring the damage a bit closer, but Sandstorm, you're seeing him fish for it. He just needs one good hit here.
He's just been controlling center so well. Like, occasionally he'll get hit and sent over to the side. Ooh, the quick spear down air. Gonna close that one out after doing so much work with the scythe. I don't think Luna was expecting something that quick right there. He was probably expecting Sandstorm to play safely because that game was so quick, and you see it reflected in the damage numbers right there. Only 72 damage on the spear on that game compared to the 395 coming out from the scythe. And there you just saw the replay of that spear down air to clinch that one for Sandstorm. He's looking good, man. I'm not going to say he's looking better than he ever has in the past, but we could be tiptoeing into a new Sandstorm era, the second Sandstorm era.
It is very, like I said, that Brawl League, that other NCAA tournament, it was very back and forth. We saw Luna go in a storm in the first game, completely destroy Sandstorm. Sandstorm comes back, completely destroys him. We're seeing it even this game. We're seeing them kind of trade back and forth in the matches, but it is still going back and forth. That was game 2 going the way of Sandstorm instead of Luna, and now the map bans are coming out. I don't think we're going to see a character pick here at all. I don't think it's going to a character swap here at all, because, like I said, the Mirage did not get nerfed. It is what Sandstorm has been putting all his chips into. He's been playing it in customs. He doesn't really need another pick when it comes down to it, because the Mirage does what exactly you need to do in the current meta. And this Roman Reigns, it needs to get tournament ready. It needs to get comfortable for the majors, and that's why Luna's just going to stick onto it.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Sticking with the Roman Reigns, with the Taros, even if he's losing, is very important, because of course he's in the worms already in this tournament. He's in the money already in this tournament. He's in the first place from yesterday. So he has all of the rewards coming from the League Trolli Brawlhalla Bash, but he also has to think about future tournaments. He has to think about the Autumn Championships of the world. He has to especially think about the BCXs of the world as well, and figuring out if this legend, if this Taros pick fits into current meta as an option for him, or if he needs to go back to Lucian, or just find something completely separate from all of that. Is he going to clinch this first stock here? The dodge coming out there, gets over to the wall, Luna picks up the recovery, gets the KO.
Now, that's a very good situation for him. You see the stomps here sending Sandstorm so far that by the time he has any options to make it back to the wall with, Luna's already there, just waiting to catch that last dodge with a recovery, and it's just complete domination. But as I say that, as soon as he's back, Sandstorm picks up the spear, gets a nice side air into the weapon throw, evens up the stocks, and he has the weapon advantage now with the Scythe in hand versus the unarmed. He's going to try to see if he can get some dodge reads here, get some pressure on the map, but Luna, you already know him well for it, instantly clapping back with the unarmed, the three-piece down like Grandpa into the Nair, and Sandstorm, with all the weapons at his advantage, is still not finding any damage lead here.
Now, I love how Sandstorm took that first stock, as he did the classic sidelight into the D-light, but then the dodge came out from Luna, but Sandstorm still continued it. There was a little bit of a delay between the D-light and his side air that actually clinched the KO, but he basically did the sidelight, D-light, side air, but the dodge was already burned, so by delaying it, he was able to confirm that side air for the KO, rather than just sidelight, D-light missed, and I'm just going to completely reset back to normal. Luna, with a nice damage lead here, does not have the weapon advantage over on the edge. Dude, his D-light ground pounds! He's doing them better than like anybody else in the game now.
That was like at the top of the edge where you couldn't even go any further down, and you saw how Sandstorm was being so patient not to waste any options, and Luna's just like, be as patient as you want. I'm going to be more patient. I'm going to call it out perfectly, even if you're already on the map by the time I get my D-light. The ground pound is going to be the follow. Now Sandstorm's the one that has to even up this game. No options on him. The downer is going to close off Luna's stocks, and that's going to bring it back to a 1-for-1 scenario. Sandstorm a bit more damage. We're going to say that's maybe like a little 60 damage there.
I think it's a good estimate. Sandstorm's in the yellow right now. Luna is fresh. Just took 2 hits. Luna's over on the edge. He does have the axe in hand compared to Sandstorm's Scythe. There's another neutral light coming out. The D-Sig comes out as well. A lot of unanswered damage. The D-Light ground pound from the unarmed kit does at least interrupt some of the momentum with a neutral air into a weapon toss, but Sandstorm still going in unarmed. Almost has Luna in the red. The side air sends Sandstorm over to the edge. The ground pound interrupted by the main platform.
Now, Sparky, these guys, we're seeing how much they value weapon starving and controlling the map and keeping the opponent away from the weapon, but we're also seeing how good they both are at an arm, to where it's like, okay, so weapon starve me, I don't care, I'm going to get more damage than you could possibly imagine with no weapon in my hand. So the swap is going to be there. That means he has Scythe and another Scythe Prime. Meanwhile, Luna just enters the unarmed on the edge guard. Sandstorm's going to prime a weapon again. Now he has Spear on his next one, but he did pick up a fresh new Scythe here. The Nair is going to be reverse sending him off stage, and he wants his edge guard. He doesn't want Luna to pick up a weapon to have a chance to play the game here. He's going to catch him lacking with the sweat drops.
He was floating just a little bit too high. He was above the main platform over on the left in the push-off column. You saw the sweat beads come out. All it took from Sandstorm was the side light. Solid KO efficiency. I'm going to have to do some math on this. 575 divided by 3 is going to be 191 2/3. That is a solid amount of damage averaged per stock by the time you're knocking Luna out. It's not the absolute most efficient we've ever seen, but we've also seen like Meg D today in some games averaging like 230 damage per stock, which was due largely in part to like, okay, he's playing a Surrey, so if he has guitars in his hands, no consistent KO options. So yeah,
just a Surrey vibes.
Yeah, that's another reason why I love this Mirage pick yet again. The consistency of the spear, the KO options of the spear, the neutral game of the spear, obviously all of the history that Sandstorm has with the Scythe. There you're seeing the tail end of that game. He was just waiting. Nice sidelight KO there. Even the spear or the Scythe kit itself has solid KO options. They're not as consistent, they're not as reliable of an option, but of course, if anyone knows how to do it as reliably as possible, it's the GOAT.
It's going to be Sandstorm. He is that one, that dream in NA that really brought Scythe to the foreground. You had names like Green playing Scythe. You had Effie having that next. I'm listening to some old people here. But it was really Sandstorm that brought that weapon into a winning scene where it was like, okay, wait, this is how you have to play the weapon. Like, this is what you need to do when you're getting Scythe off. We saw him take BCX 18 by storm. And even now, all these years later, you still have him on that Scythe. Now, we have him on this Mirage the entire time. It's time for a switch on Luna's part. We're seeing the Ragnar, the Katars coming from that Lucian pick that we know he loves so much. The Teros is gone, but the Axe is still there. Bring them together, what do you get? You get the 60-foot Dragon Ragnar. That's a little NSYNC Jeopardy trivia for you guys. And, wait, is it 90? It might be 60 or 90. It's one of those numbers that you can flip and then it becomes the other one. But it's the Ragnar, the fire-breathing dragon. He's taking it up against the Mirage, and it's different. We haven't seen him really pull it out in a major yet, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, what do you... Okay, all right, okay, all right, there we go.
All right,
I was
forget
just
it
about to
so
ask you,
back.
Remy, what is... okay, does he and you know something that I don't? Because what is this Ragnar, man? Look, I'm not feeling the Ragnar in ones. I'm just not.
I've seen him pull the Ragnar out in customs, and every time he does that, I go, "Oh, we don't really want to win anymore, do we?"
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go that far, but yeah, that's my feelings exactly on the Ragnar pick, at least in 1v1s.
Yeah, but we just see him panicking in the chat. He's talking about back, like he picked it by mistake.
Okay, but everything's back to normal. No alarm bells need to go off. Everything's okay. He's back over on the Roman Reigns, and we are tied so far in this game. We're about 30 seconds into this one. Of course, that's going to be a punish, and it's going to be a signature punish in the orange, sending Luna almost off screen with it again. That high strength that you were talking about with Mirage earlier. It was a simple side signature punish and almost sent him off screen. There's the D-Sig as well. That one also sent off screen, this time off the top compared to the left side. He has weapon control, but the weapon spawn comes in. Luna grabs the hammer. He's going to have to be careful on the edge. We haven't seen him be able to rely on those hammer recovery KOs like he did in previous sets in this tournament. He's got like one, I think, against Sandstorm, and that's pretty much it.
Now, you saw the wall slips starting up there, and it actually looked like it made Sandstorm panic because he just instantly started jumping up as high as he could, trying to get onto that map, and Luna took that panic, took that 1 second of mistake, and just instantly punished it with an axe recovery, knocking him off the stock. That's going to give Luna the first stock here, and now you see Sandstorm getting greedy for that stock. He's finally going to get it, but not before entering that, once again, light orange, deep yellow, 60 damage HP. But we saw Sandstorm make this up earlier. It's not the end of the world for him, as we can see here. Side light, the Slayer is not going to be trending with, but the double down light is going to rack up so much damage up Sandstorm's side. Now, we have another edge guard step for him here. He doesn't want to commit too fast or too hard, but Luna doesn't mind it. He's going to commit back to the stage here, and now the two trading hits back to back. At this point, it's the benefit of Sandstorm because Luna doesn't want to trade hits. He wants to trade stocks, and he's going to get it with that downlight ground pound.
How is he able to do that so consistently? He can't find hammer recoveries against Sandstorm over on the edge for the KO, but he's finding D-Light ground pounds like it's nothing. He's making it look like he's taking candy from a baby, and Sandstorm is the baby, goo goo gaga. But that's the GOAT we're talking about. His unarmed kit to finish up stocks is absolutely stellar. It seems like he's spending so much time on the wall, and just looking at that alone, I always get like the vibes in the back of the head that like Luna's on the back foot, but then I keep looking in the top right, and definitely this game, like he's not. He's very much in the lead. Even though he's stuck over on the wall, that's because Sandstorm will get a hit and send him over there, but Luna's finding so much damage on the way back. He finally gets knocked out by the GCD sig coming out from Sandstorm, but now we're still looking at like an 80 damage, maybe a 90 damage lead for Luna. He has weapon advantage as well after Sandstorm threw away his scythe and Luna picked up the new weapon spawn. Sandstorm getting over the right side, picks up the scythe. Now Luna's disarmed.
Yeah, this is definitely, this game was set up for a mountain for Sandstorm to climb here, but we've seen him do it before. You can already see that the damage is getting somewhat even. He's gotten a lot of hits before Luna was only able to get that Stomp there. A GC downlight's going to waste his dodge, but it's not the end of the world as he makes it back on stage now. Sandstorm trading these attacks out. You can just see him mashing, whiffing. It's not the end of the world though. Another Stomp there is still not going to KO. And at this point, Luna, he's looking for one good hit here, and Sandstorm, he's looking for a big interaction to maybe take the stock away.
He's fishing for these stomp side airs. The last two that he hit were great, but unfortunately they were on the wrong side of the stage. They were like on the left side of the stage, sending over to the right side. You still see him stomping the yard, hoping to find it. There it is from the middle of the stage. That one is going to KO. That one keeps Luna alive in his winner's bracket run. He's even going to GG after that. We're going to game 5, Remy.
It takes so much restraint. You're seeing these stomps come out over and over and over again, and it's because that's the option. If you go for that raw jump stare that we see a lot of EU players like to go for, and it is because when you compare the regions, EU does like to jump a lot, go for those aerial options. NA is not going to jump into it. You see Sandstorm, he has so much restraint. He's sitting there on the ground. Every time we saw Luna jump, he just got picked up by that scythe nair. So he just waits, going for these stomps over and over and over and over again. And the last one finally hits. He's just, if this was LAN, you just see the player camps. He's just so relieved. Finally, I got a stomp Sarah off. But all that did was bring it to a game 5, and that's good. We don't want to lose here. The game 5, we're gonna take what we can get. But it's not over yet. We're seeing the bans come through again. Same characters. We're not gonna get to see the Ragnar, guys. False alarm.
I'm still so glad. I saw the Ragnar's like, yeah, this one's pretty much over, unless he knows something that I don't, which I didn't know he had a Ragnar, period. So the fact that you educated me on that, he brings it out occasionally in customs to apparently mixed results at best. But man, I'm glad he's sticking with it. I'm glad that we're not seeing him like lose a couple games and then immediately retreat over on the Lucian, completely abandoning this plan, because I think Taros in general has a place in the meta. I think Kaina probably makes Taros look better than he actually is. Like when Kaina plays Taros, he makes him look like the best legend in the game, but I still definitely think that Taros has a place in current meta, especially given the new dash changes as well and how players are using them. But the beginning of this game is not making Taros look very good, and it's making Sandstorm look incredible.
Yeah, Taros definitely does have footing in the meta, especially, like, let's forget Taros, let's just look at Axe in general. What Stingray was doing with Axe in the Summer Championships on the Zol, what Snowy has been doing with Axe in this tournament on the Zol. It definitely has a place where that high force Axe can do work, but this high force scythe, the down sig comes out one more time, and Sandstorm, look at his health, Sparky. What color is that? What color is that?
It's yellow.
I got you. It's the lemon yellow from the lemon half of the Trolli candy.
Oh, yeah,
that's exactly what he's at. And now Luna's at it, and he hasn't taken his first stock.
It's still crazy, like that down signature that Sandstorm hit is like, a lot of times we think of the D-Sig as like, oh, it's a stacked option, but really, like, it still had some range. Like those two, oh, and he picks up the bottom side of the side sig to make the connection with a 2-stock lead. He does not want to move away from the yellow color of the Trolli Sour Bright Crawlers.
The double-sider is going to change that color. Now we're on the tangy orange, and then we're on the tangy back to white because his stock just got completely deleted by Luna's ground pound. But he's going to take that. It's 2 stocks to 1 now. Luna's back at that yellow, and Sandstorm's just beating on him with the unarmed.
There's a GC sidelight into the neutral air coming out from Luna. He's doing his best to weapon starve Sandstorm. Sandstorm, like, he doesn't need to be in any rush whatsoever. Of course, he has a strong unarmed kit. Luna continuing to weapon starve. We're seeing a few hits here and there, but Sandstorm, again, he's in no hurry. Again, Luna takes another weapon away from him. Now, unfortunately for Luna, he hasn't been able to do too much damage. Like, he's on his final stock. He has to be careful. We're in a game 5 situation here, and Sandstorm finally grabbing the spear.
Ooh, double sidelight, just playing the neutral game here. You can see him tagging on hits back to back. And now we're looking for those big engages with the signatures. I'm telling you, man, every time one of these guys don't have a weapon, you're not even like worried about it. You're not even thinking about the fact that they don't have a weapon.
Oh, the D-Light just barely misses, and he still finds the falling side air. Luna over on the edge, the exhausted recovery. We saw him do that earlier. I think on this exact stage was the exhausted recovery over the corner, and Sandstorm plucked him right out of the air exactly